weather, some severe weather, I think, that will be headed to the area.
We are tracking thunderstorms for some, not all. So that's really going to be the case. Although things are looking better, that's the good news. But what we'll continue to watch and track really is going to be that atmosphere. You can see it right here on your screen. It's dry. That is the good news. But every time you see me, again, I'm going to show you that Storm Tracker 2 radar right now. Again, where it's looking pretty dry for the most part. That's the good news. Really, it's been all about this front. So yesterday we were tracking it for you, moving from Dallas into Waco, into that Houston area. Now it's pushing off the coast. And with that, again, whenever we have a front, a couple questions that we ask. The first one is, what about those temperatures? Will we see a dramatic drop in those temperatures? You can see things have changed just a little bit. Your morning lows, that average should be 75. But look, Tuesday as you wake up, it's going to be 66. And by Wednesday, it's looking at 68. So we will see a couple of days with cooler, refreshing morning lows. We'll take it. By the end of the week, things are going to pop back up to average. But overall, we will continue to watch that for you. Also, again, it's going to be all about future track. It looks like some of those storms have shifted to the west. So looking at 10 a.m., what we'll continue to watch and track really is going to be right here, that I-1045 corridor. We have that chance for an isolated thunderstorm. And with this, these cells could produce maybe an inch to a half an inch to 2 inches of rain. So we don't want to rule that out, even though it doesn't look dramatic. And you can see, I would say from 1 to 4, again, that chance for isolated thunderstorms really going to be that I-45, I-10 corridor. Then some lighter rain by that 4 o'clock hour. You can see that as it makes its way into Houston. So things are looking better. But how much rain did we get? Some places got close to 2 inches. I'm going to break it down for you with your 10-day forecast coming up next, ladies.
It's not the story right now. You can see it's a gorgeous shot as we slowly wake up together on this Sunday. What we will continue to watch and track again is going to be the atmosphere and your roadways with that chance for some rain. You can see that right there on your screen. Atmosphere is dry. Traffic kind of picking up as more folks wake up this morning, get ready for church or maybe chores or whatever it is you're doing. Let's talk about what we were saying. Thunderstorms for some, not all. And I just think this is so important to show those rain totals. That's what I just put on our social media too, because look, Brenham got more than almost close to 2 inches of rain with those thunderstorms, but other places like Katy got nothing. Sugarland, more than 1/4 of an inch of rain. Same story for Hobby, and you can see more than 3/4 of an inch of rain for Angleton. So some folks, especially on the west side, got rain, while others got nothing, like Liberty and Livingston. So we'll continue to watch that same trend today, although it looks like things are shifting a little bit to the west. So right now, again, it's going to be about hit or miss thunderstorms. Monday, we're looking at sunshine with a high of 87, so it's going to be refreshing for the most part. And Tuesday and Wednesday, as you wake up, yeah, we're going to be in the 60s. That's all thanks to that cold front. So what we'll watch, and every time you see me on TV, since we are tracking that chance of some thunderstorms, is Storm Tracker 2. And you can see for the most part, it's quiet right outside of our viewing area to the west of College Station. They're looking at thunderstorms right now and some lighter rain. But for us, you can see we're going to look at that 10 o'clock hour. It's still going to be a Round Rock, Austin area, lighter rain for you, some coastal showers there. And then that I-1045 corridor, we have that potential for an isolated thunderstorm. So by 4 o'clock, what we'll see is up to the north. If maybe you're traveling, maybe you're in the Dallas area, making your way home or headed to Dallas, we'll watch that 45 corridor for you. Same story for San Antonio near Columbus, but these are looking like lighter showers. Now we could see a pop-up isolated thunderstorm, and with that, it could give us maybe an inch of rain, but overall, it looks a lot better than yesterday. Again, it shifted a little bit to the west. So looking at this right here, you can see at 7 o'clock, some widespread rain, maybe just south of the I-10 corridor, but I'm not picking up a lot of thunderstorms with this. So looking at that flash flood warning, when I showed it to you as this continues to push off, it really was yesterday, the whole entire area that has now shifted: Columbus, Sugarland, El Campo, Lake Jackson. So we'll watch this just because you have to remember we did the past week get a lot of rain. So this soil is saturated with this rain, with the potential of an isolated thunderstorm producing more rain. It still puts us at a flash flood risk. I don't think it is as intense as yesterday, but it is something that we'll watch. That plus temperatures. Look, you can see Tuesday and Wednesday as you wake up now, we're going to be in the 60s. So you will feel that. Looking at our roadways, not a big.
Joining us on this Sunday, September 7th, I'm Kathy Hernandez.
And I'm Brittany Jeffers. Yeah, out the door this morning, pretty quiet, but we are stocking rain, Britt.
Yeah, we're still watching and tracking that rain. It's all about that front. And I thought if you have a road trip, maybe you're headed to Dallas, San Antonio, Austin,
We are jealous, but otherwise we're looking at those temperatures for you. So looking at that right now, again, yesterday we were tracking that front really hitting that Dallas area into Waco, bringing them some more severe thunderstorms. And some places here got rain. Dallas right now as we speak, 70, Austin 74, San Antonio is 74. And for us in Houston, we're right now in the 70s. But what makes us a little bit different is just that humidity. So our temperatures, 74 right now at Bush. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Huntsville 73, Sugar Land, we're at 77. At the coast, we're at 80, but you have to add in that humidity, which we have this morning, so it's going to feel a little bit hotter. I don't think we might hit the triple digits, but it's still going to be hot. It's still going to be sticky as we take a look at that front right now as we speak, pushing off into the coast. So you can see right here over the Gulf, we're looking at some thunderstorms there and near College Station. But for us, for the most part, it is quiet. That's the good news. Again, every time you see me, since we are watching that chance for some thunderstorms, I will show you our Storm Tracker 2 radar. And again, for the most part, it is dry right now as we speak. That is the good news. But like we said, we are tracking thunderstorms for some, not all. Now, full disclosure, I think things look better than what we showed you yesterday. It looks like some of that shifted off into the west. With that being said, we will watch around that 10 o'clock hour, that I-10 45 corridor. And you can see right here, we just have a little cell, but don't let that deceive you because some of those thunderstorms, those pop-up thunderstorms still could produce an inch to an inch and a half of rain. So we do look better in terms of widespread rain, but there are some areas that we'll watch. And I think it's going to be that I-10 45 corridor at least until 4. And then even up here near Huntsville, we have some lighter rain on that 45 corridor. Looking at 5, 6, we're going to see that chance right here. You saw that cell go basically from the west into I-10 corridor into that I-10 45 corridor. That's going to be those evening hours and some widespread rain. You can see some lighter rain near Lake Jackson, just south of I-10. So it's looking so much better than yesterday. That's the good news. More of the intense storms really going to come from the west, but really not making it to us. With that being said, we'll continue to watch and track that throughout the day. What about the rest of the week? We have some changes in that forecast, plus some chillier temperatures. I'll explain special. All right, let's take a look right here. You can see as we look at our Southwest Freeway camera, what we're watching is that gorgeous sunrise happening right now as we speak. Those roadways, traffic moving right along as more folks get ready for church, work, or just enjoying your Sunday. What we're going to continue to watch and track a couple of things, but let's talk about, again, thunderstorms for some, not all. This is why I love to show our rain totals, obviously, because we want you to trust us in transparency and accountability, but it really does show why we're so enthusiastic and passionate about thunderstorms for some, not all, because Brenham, look, you can see almost close to 2 inches of rain, right? While other places like Katy, nothing, Hobby, more than 1/4 of an inch. Same story for Sugar Land, and more than 3/4 of an inch for places like Angleton. So some folks are waking up thinking, I didn't get any rain. Oh, that's awesome if you didn't. But other places like Brenham, they did get that heavier rain. So what we will watch again is really going to be hit or miss thunderstorms again for us today. And I really think that's because we've been tracking this front, and with that, it's going to bring us dropping those temperatures. Not really tomorrow. We're going to see sunshine with a high of 87, but those lows in the 60s, yeah, they are headed our way. So looking at that front, again, we've been tracking this since yesterday live on TV. It is pushing out into the Gulf right here, and that's why we have all those thunderstorms in the water. But overall, it's going to be about a couple things when we say the front, right? We're always checking those temperatures, and then we're always checking those thunderstorms. That's what we look for when we track those fronts for you. So Dallas right now at 70, a little bit warmer compared to yesterday morning. Austin 74, San Antonio 74, and for us at Houston, we're at 74. But again, we're special because we might be at 74, but from that humidity, and it's going to be humid again today, those temperatures will feel warmer than what they actually are. Hobby 76, Angleton 77, and up into the north, thank you so much for waking up with us, Huntsville, we're at 72. So over the next 5 days, though, we're at average for our lows right now, but look at Tuesday, we're at 66, and now it looks like Wednesday will be at 68. So we are going to get a couple of days of refreshing morning lows. That's the good news. By Friday, that's going to pop up to 74. And with fronts, one thing we have to think about is timing, right? Like the timing of the front. That's going to adjust those temperatures because colder air takes just a little bit longer to get to us. Storm Tracker 2. So we just talked about the temperature part of the front. Let's talk about the thunderstorm part of the front. You can see right here, we're still looking quiet. But again, every time you see me, since we are tracking that threat, I will show you a live look at our radar. Looking at future track as we plan your day, you can see by 10 o'clock o'clock, 11 o'clock, it doesn't look dramatic. You can see I-10 right here and 45. What we're going to watch with these isolated thunderstorms, even though this radar is not popping, right? It doesn't look dramatic, especially compared to yesterday, because I think that when that front passed through, a lot of that intensity and moisture was used up in those thunderstorms in Dallas and the Waco area. But for us, what I'm watching, even though this cell is small, we could still produce in this cell an inch to an inch and a half. Weather Service saying possibly 3 inches. We're not ruling that out. So that's why we're still going over this hour by hour, because you never know what's going to happen in Houston, but we definitely keep a close eye on and track it. So 2 o'clock, we'll watch just areas just east of the Angleton area and lighter rain near Brenham. So that's kind of getting us through what's happening today. But what about the rest of the week? We'll break it down for you coming up next.